Alright, what's going on, Piglets? It's your boy Taylor B, and I'm joined by my boy Daniel. You know, the conspiracy theorist with the most crazy conspiracies this side of the Mississippi, and my other boy Joey, who's hyped off these Padres winning these games and sweeping these Texas teams.
Yep.
How y'all feeling? Quarantine is pretty much done. Hopefully, like fingers crossed. I know San Diego is supposed to be opening up a bunch of stuff on Monday. How y'all feeling?
I give it another 2 weeks before we back in quarantine again. Don't get your hopes up.
Jeez.
I hear treachery. I know treachery is afoot. I don't know where. I don't know how, but it is afoot. The hills have eyes and the walls have ears.
What the fuck? I gotta know who's the main conspiracy theorist on the east side of the Mississippi, because you know what I'm saying? We gotta give that guy a call. Yeah, man, I'm psyched. The Padres actually went on a 9-game road trip, and they lost I think 7 out of the 9 or 6 out of the 9, and they came home and they handled business. And now they were on 6 straight games. They're the first team in MLB history to hit 4 straight games with a grand slam. That's for the first time ever. Baseball's existed since the late 1800s. And by the way, they hit another one yesterday. So a span of 5 and 6 games is also a record. So we lightning hot right now. Go Padres. But that's cool. That's all I got. Today's shout out to my brother Diego. It's his 24th birthday. We got a bunch of people in the house.
Yeah.
Right? Happy birthday, Diego.
You know I mean, also happy birthday beyond the grave to Kobe Bryant. Today's also his birthday, and tomorrow is actually Kobe Bryant Day, 8/24. Before we get to the next show, too, another birthday shout out to one of my other homies, Devion, turns 31.
That's a fact. Shout out, Dev.
On Tuesday, the 25th. So happy birthday to him.
Yep, happy birthday.
And I think that's all I got.
Or we can do the black version right now for your brother and for Devion. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh man. That's funny. And we did eat barbecue today, so it kind of suits the
I'll be over there as soon as we done recording. I'm coming over, right?
For sure then. What we got?
Well, since we already mentioned the Padres sweeping the Texas teams. Also today in NBA sports, we got the Celtics just finished their sweep of the Sixers. I think who was it? What's his name? Luka Doncic. You know, I'm not the sports.
Hey. Okay, so I'll go ahead. So everybody, my people that know, I'm a Clippers fan, and the Clippers are playing the Mavericks in the first round. And Doncic just tied the series with a 3-point shot to win the game at the buzzer in overtime. The youngest player in NBA history to do so in the playoffs. Congratulations to him. Porzingis didn't even play. Paul George is playing like booty, but we'll see. We'll see if we can pick it up in the next game.
I've been seeing people there's memes of people talking about Kawhi and just saying the look of regret when you pick Paul George instead of LeBron and Anthony Davis.
Hey, but but you know what? That's more power to Kawhi. Kawhi's not. People say, "Oh, Kawhi joined the Clippers because they was already said." No. He didn't join with any other superstars that were already there. And Paul George, let's keep it honest, is probably one of the best number 2 guys. He's not a number 1 guy. But I hate the fact that we just lost 2 games and people are acting like it's the end of the world because the series is tied. It's 0-0 pretty much. And Kawhi, nobody's even talking about how great Kawhi's playing from the regular season to the playoffs. In the playoffs, he's literally averaging 36, 8, and 5. The guy is made for the playoffs. So even though Paul George is struggling and there's being memes made and stuff and everything seems all oh, what's going wrong with them? Trust me, the inner killer in Kawhi, that guy that makes no emotion, is firing it up right now. So I'm looking to win in 2 games.
In the words of the late great Kobe Bryant, job not done.
Also, in the late great words of Magic Johnson, it don't matter if you lose by 1 or 20 because it's still tied.
Your Timberwolves got some news too, didn't they, Daniel?
Yeah, boy. It's ball season. Ball control. I've been missing LeVar Ball. I watched all of LeVar Ball's videos this whole week, bro. I am ready for the LeVar Ball memes. I'm ready to see Lonzo running around the court and just have LeVar Ball on the side what did I tell you? I'm back.
All right, so for the people who don't exactly know the details of what the hell Daniel's talking about, the NBA had a draft lottery, which is what they do every year. I think like the bottom like 5 or 6 teams pretty much draw to see who gets the first pick, and the Minnesota Timberwolves won. The projected first pick is LaMelo Ball, who is the youngest brother of the Ball brothers and Ball family. Father is LeVar, who we're talking about now, who is the most outrageous person in the history of ESPN and sports to ever go on there and say, Michael Jordan couldn't beat me one-on-one, but okay.
Hey, never lost. Okay, never lost.
Yeah. The big baller brand, he must really have a giant sack between his knees because it takes a lot of balls to say something like that.
Crazy.
But yeah, I'm super excited to see him running around. I've actually been watching him since ever since they all got famous, and they were all at Chino Hills. Everybody's been watching the younger. He's actually the tallest one now. Even though when we first knew him, he was like the shortest one out of all of them. He had the most promise because he had the best shot out of all of them, and he was like him and Lonzo were kind of have the best passing.
But it's also, I mean, like you said, he's the youngest one, so I know myself. When you're the older brother and you grow up with younger siblings, you don't take it easy on them. So when they grow up, they're like, bro, I've been playing grown folks for years. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he dipped high school, went over to somewhere in Europe, I believe.
He's in Australia right now.
Australia?
It was at first it was Lithuania though. Then it was Australia.
Right. So honestly, there's not much weakness to his game other than maybe physicality on defense. But let's be honest, not many guys get drafted into the NBA for their defense. They get coached up on that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I was just watching the Rockets, and James Harden had about 10 layups right through the lane. Everybody was scared to touch him because of the foul call.
Ain't this crazy? Because this might be the second time that D'Angelo Russell gets ran out of the NBA team that he's currently played for a ball. If you remember, he was on the Lakers and he went over to Brooklyn so that they can get because Lonzo was gonna pretty much start there and play there.
Yeah.
And now he's with the Timberwolves after a short stint with who?
The Golden State.
He went Brooklyn, Golden State. Now he's with the Timberwolves. Now the Timberwolves got the #1 pick, and they're like, "Well, we're going to get a point guard." So, if you guys remember, I don't know if anybody knows this, D'Angelo Russell actually wanted to go to Minnesota and play with the Timberwolves because of Karl Anthony Towns, who's his homeboy. But now, if you ask Big Cat, like, "Hey, dog, we got the #1 pick, and it's a point guard. Say bye to your homie." You know what I'm saying? Like, D'Angelo Russell's not going to play over LaMelo Ball, dog. Like,
I don't know. I think they might put him in the sixth spot on the 6-man. Just have him come off the bench and just be a lightning rod, because that's what they do actually lack is a backup point guard. They lost their backup point guard straight to Portland. True that. So they definitely need somebody off the bench. So I can definitely see them plug and playing him right there.
What kind of best friends in the NBA are okay with one guy starting and one guy on the bench though? I mean, D'Angelo, let's keep it real. D'Angelo Russell's had some attitude and also some loyalty issues. If you guys don't remember, he was the one that snitched on Nick Young, Swaggy P, back in like 2015. Say it pretty much leaked to the world that old boy cheated on Iggy Azalea, who just had a baby, by the way.
What did he? Oh yeah, he like recorded the conversation or something, right?
Yeah, and he let it out like, bro, nobody trusts you. He went to Brooklyn. They were like, bro, see ya. And he literally goes to Golden State, and we're like, oh my God, what's going on? And Golden State is depleted and literally got like the #2 or 3 pick.
Yeah.
Golden State had a horrible season because all of their great players are out this year. Kevin Durant's gone, but Steph Curry, Klay Thompson pretty much sat all year, and it was Draymond playing with a bunch of goofies and loonies, literally. The centers last night. But wow. If you think about all those, we're talking about 2 of the top 5 shooters of all time in Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. You have those guys coming back with probably the best passing power forward in the game in Draymond Green, with the centers that they've been playing now with a top 3 pick. The West is stupid right now. Like, people talking about the Lakers and the Clippers and Doncic with the Mavs, and you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, the Rockets still got Westbrook and Harden. You talking about teams that did not make the cut this year who are instantly top 4, top 5 seeds in the playoffs next year.
Did you just call Draymond the best passing power forward?
He's top 3. He's a top 3 power forward passer.
Okay, that sounds better. That sounds better. Top 3 sounds better. Okay.
Well, he is. I mean, can you point out any? I don't know. Anyway, we can move on. All I know is NBA playoffs right now got me hype. Padre season right now got me hype. Sports is back. We don't know for how long, but everything's afoot right now. This honestly getting me hyped for the Olympics next year that got postponed to 2021. I'm really trying to see what's good. If we're gonna have events where guys are wearing masks and stuff, like it's gonna be intense.
Dang, man, I had two good transitions and I don't really know which one to go with. You know, one was for sports to continue with sports, and the other one, since you mentioned Golden State, I wanted to mention the Golden State Killer. But
yep.
But I got a side note for sports real quick.
All right, go ahead real quick.
The Super Bowl has been set in Madden. We've been going back and forth to this, and it's not me. Damn it! I went 15. I pulled the Panthers, and I went 15-1, and then I lost. So I'm super pissed right now. But I deleted the game and everything, and then they were like, "Yo, advance the week," but I deleted the game out of anger, so now I can't. So they're kind of stuck. They're kind of stuck until DJ.
You was out here ruling like a friggin' Nazi, and now you was just like, "Oh, it's over with. It's all done." You just released everybody from the concentration camps and was like, "Ah, just kidding."
Yeah, so it's gonna be Kyle versus Bobby at some point tonight when DJ gets there. So, but I'm already moved on to 21, so I don't even care about 20 no more.
That is not shocking. Just after last season with Bobby going to the Super Bowl. And none of you guys could beat Kyle this year, right?
I'm the only one that's beaten him, but I beat him on regs. But in the actual like fantasy thing, this dude is breaking records out here. Like he got Jameis Winston has 67 touchdowns, bro. Like
he out here murdering y'all, damn.
It's not even a joke. But go ahead.
We'll go on with the Washington news. So there's a couple things coming out of the Washington football team's locker room, basically. Former Washington football team running back Darius, I guess his name is Juice or Goose. I'm not really sure.
Guys,
reportedly, Guys. What? That's how you pronounce that?
Guice is pronounced Geis. I'm sorry. I just had okay. Moving on.
That's wild.
Juice is cool, but right now he has anything but juice. You know what I'm
saying? He reportedly raped 2 women at LSU in 2016. And this is actually coming off the back of a couple of domestic violence reports.
Allegedly. And, you forgot to say that.
Yeah. Of course, it's always alleged until, proven, because that's the country we live in where you're innocent until proven guilty if you have money, and you're dead until proven innocent unless you're poor. But anyway, so that's coming out of the locker room, which is a terrible thing. It kind of sucks because we kind of tend to see this type of thing happen to pretty common actually on the football field from football players. I don't know if it's a lot of people maybe blame it on aggression or something, maybe even potentially taking some kind of substance that produces some kind of anger or something, or more testosterone or whatever. We've seen all kinds of things over the year. Ray Rice, old boy that threw his wife on a bed of guns, just all kinds of stories, obviously, and there's all kinds of allegations. Also, not everything is always true. Some things are proven, false. Are proven false through a court of law. Right now, I think Antonio Brown's got something going on, and he's trying to fight that case right now too. We have yet to know if it's factual or not. In this instance too, it's another one of those things that it kind of it looks bad in the public eye, obviously, because he's already got something going on domestically. And now you compile this on with this instance that's happened in LSU. I'm sure that it'll be looked into, and we'll get a determination whether whether it is indeed fact or fiction. And I just hope that in the future, things like this just are not okay. I don't know how many times people before you have to fall as a celebrity or a talent or whatever before you understand that, hey, I shouldn't be out here doing stupid or crazy shit like this. Lots of guys came before me and got in trouble for a lot less than trying to forcibly have sex with a woman or not taking no as an answer or whatever, for as far as that is concerned, it's I get you're famous or you want to hook up with some chicks or whatever, but focus on the prize, my guy. What's coming, just focus on that and get it done, but I don't know, it's I'm not in that world, so it's hard for me to just be the judge of that and say, oh man, I would do this easily or something. But I would hope to see less and less until this is kind of an antiquated thing that happens in life, and that we're no longer seeing this for celebrities or athletes. Period.
Crazy.
You know, it's wild. Hopefully, I mean, one day could it go away for everybody, but until that day, I just pray to God that we see less and less of this out in the world.
Especially with youth and people that are in high school and college. Like, I know it's easy to fall into that trap and feel like if you're not living fast, you're not living. But I guarantee you, as you grow older and you start reaching the late 20s, 30s, you realize I could have done without a lot of those situations and been perfectly fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can pass up on some parties and feel like you didn't miss nothing. You can pass up on some, you know what I mean? Like some people, some experiences, some sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could pass up on that stuff and be perfectly fine. And I know that especially in college, all those values that you grow up with, if you've grown up with them, not saying everybody's the same, but as soon as you get to college, let's keep it real. You're looking after yourself. You know what I mean? And unless you have that superior discipline, a lot of people get caught up for shit in college. And to me, it's unfortunate the way this came about, because in today's society, we're getting very used to and accustomed with the idea that people are being exposed for things years later. Not saying that it's excused or there's a statute of limitations as to what was right and what was wrong, but maybe we need to be a little stronger with our culture and letting people know if something happens, speak up right away, because the amount of time it takes to investigate, question people, the amount of lives that have been changed within that time. And I'm not saying it's their fault for not speaking up, because it's a reaction to a action. People go through shock, people go through, you know what I'm saying, like they're traumatized. And that's why we have to be, you know, sensitive to these claims. But the fact of the matter is, there's still claims until we realize what goes on. And unfortunately, because there has been a few liars in recent history, actually lying on people who have found fame and saying, oh, they did this to me back then, blah, blah. We have to kind of be like, we have to let people know that this happened, but we can't start placing judgment on people simply because we've seen these situations go both ways. And it's unfortunate that it goes that way. But this is just like, dude, like for all those guys out there, like you said, if you have something working for you in your favor, like you're favored, you know what I'm saying? Like you're talented, you're good at a sport, you're running a business. Stop putting yourself in trouble into things that you just don't need to be doing. It's that simple. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, can we just like grow up now? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like there's just one thing that I follow a couple of people on YouTube, and they were talking about some of these situations, and they say the problem with both men and women, they say that when a woman starts getting a man's attention, that's when they stop progressing, mentally, and when men, it's when they first start getting money and first start getting attention, and that's when they both stop, growing mentally and growing, in their wisdom and their understanding and all that. And you could definitely see that a lot of times when young men get into college, if they have that scholarship and all that, and they weren't really getting that play in high school, and they start getting that play in college from all kind of chicks from all over the country and all over the world in some cases, and like that, you definitely see the decision making take a hit. And it's unfortunate because it's like you're being thrown to the wolves, literally, because you have no idea how your certain actions can affect you in the future. How many times have we seen these politicians be, for something that happened 20 years ago, they're getting taken down now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for the people that are actually getting, raped out here, that are actually getting taken advantage of out here, report that immediately. Go get a rape kit, go to the police. Don't go to the school, because the school has a vested interest in the athletes, in the money they get from these athletes. Go to the police, straight to the police. Search for justice, not for money. I'm just going to say that right now, because that's another one of those things that people not want to believe people, because it takes so long, and you wait for the person is famous or has a household name, and then you want to come out with the claims. It makes it that much harder to believe you, even though it might have happened, it may not have happened, but if it really did happen, it's so hard to believe people if you don't have any type of evidence to back it up. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
and man, it's just, I don't like to get too deep into like the judicial system and our justice, because obviously it's either shown proof that it works and obviously shown proof that it's failed us before. So it's one of those case by case scenarios. I think we just have to cover the topics and just let it be known that these things actually happened, and just wish for the best. Hopefully Hopefully nothing was really that serious. I don't want to say I hope it's a lie. I don't know this person. I don't even know him career wise playing football. But if in fact everything is what they're saying, they deserve justice. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. In other news coming out of the Washington football team's locker room, Coach Ron Rivera was diagnosed with cancer and is proceeding with coaching. It's always kind of, I mean, this doesn't happen too often, like a serious illness like this. This is kind of rare instances. People like they end their careers because of a disease they caught, or, cancer, sexually transmitted disease, whatever the case may be. These things do happen. It's rare, but it does happen. And it's one of those things that I am glad to see him continue coaching, kind of like persevere and fight through it. And not let it like slow him down. And I mean, obviously he doesn't have to be as physical as the actual players in the field, but it's definitely something to have to, go through and get treatments, do whatever he needs to get done, and still be out there every day, coaching his guys, motivating them, and, keeping them focused. And especially with everything that's already going on with the Washington football team. I mean, the fact that we're calling it the Washington football team, and their mascot being different and things like that, there's a lot going on. And you need somebody who's strong, and I mean the job ahead of him is damn near insurmountable, honestly.
But it is a good thing
best of wishes to him, and I hope that he's able to recover from this, and that he's able to stay strong enough to stay throughout the whole entire season too.
I was going to say it's a good thing that they caught it early, because they said his life isn't in danger. How typically when you hear that, I have cancer, like the first thing you say is, oh, how long do you have? But they caught it at such of an early stage that his life isn't really in danger, but he's still gonna have to go get his treatments 5 days a week, on top of coaching and practicing and all that. So he's been asking. Woo. So he's been asking like the assistant coaches to step up, and the players to step up. So I feel like, even though Washington has been like the laughing stock, of the league, I feel like they're about to be on point for coach right now. If he continues to show up, and they start seeing some of the ill effects of cancer on him, and or the therapy and all that, and they see him still chugging, still being the first one in the office, and they're about to really sell out for him. And I'm kind of excited to see what they do, especially, and they got Alex Smith back now too.
Man, why is the Washington football team not on Hard Knocks this year? They've had literally had the hardest knocks of any team in the previous like 10, 15 years. First they had like all those office workers and stuff like get caught up for like sex scandals and misconduct, and then
allegedly
whatever. Like then they hire a new coach, get a quarterback back, bring in another quarterback. What else? Then this dude gets cut from the team, accused of rape, and now the coach has kept like, bro, whoa, that's intense.
Stuff.
That's
for
intense.
Sure. It's a lot going on for that team. Prayers out to them. Hopefully they can overcome. It's always kind of nice to see those stories actually take place. Overcoming like a bunch of obstacles and overcoming the odds, and at least have a winning season. Maybe turning the face of the franchise around, and becoming something better, and having a brighter tone. And I guess that pretty much covers it for sports. There's a lot of actually somewhat tragic news that has been occurring this week. Some of it kind of mixed good with the bad. Some of it drama. Let's start off with the Golden State Killer, since I kind of mentioned already. He was sentenced to life without parole. And when Joey at first sent me this, I totally did not realize he was a cop. That's the crazy part.
And they're not even trying to say that on some on some of those posts, saying, "Oh, the Golden State Killer." They're not even trying to say, "Oh, police officer who was committing these murders and stuff while he was in uniform." By the way,
yeah, that shit's wild as hell. And they wonder why we don't trust the police. But one of the things that I always considered, and this is just like random, I have like random paranoid thoughts all the time. But have y'all ever thought about if you walk past a serial killer or walk past a serial killer's home? Like, I usually get that feeling when I walk past like a really close, like really kind of bad home that's like in a neighborhood, but it just doesn't look well kept. Like the windows are all closed, not boarded up, but just like it's all closed up. Like, somebody lives there, but you're like, why would somebody live there? And then like the other times it's kind of like people that look like Jeffrey Dahmer tend to give me that like, oh, you're a serial killer vibe.
What?
Oh, I
Go
got a
ahead,
little
Daniel.
stump there. This is completely crazy to me. He was doing this through the 70s and the 80s. I mean, it's I can't even explain how a cop. This is something you see in movies, bro. Where the cop is going through and he's taking. This is Training Day, but but it's a white cop instead of a black cop. Where he's out here doing
Let me just
doing the most dirt, bro. This is ridiculous. And then I finally saw, oh, they gave him life in prison. Like I had no idea who he was, right? Oh, they life in prison. I looked at the picture. I was like, this old dude, of course he getting life in prison. This dude is 97.
kill him. Take the shot. Bro, he's already lived his entire life. Oh, oh yeah, so much for a punishment. Oh, I'm 93. I got to spend the last 5 months of my life in here. Take the shot, bro. Look, when you Google Golden State Killer, the first thing that comes up is a mugshot, a fucked up, ugly one, by the way, and then a second one of him in court with the freaking face shield on. Like, yeah, let's protect this guy, right? So, Joseph James D'Angelo is his name. The first thing that reads on his like biography wiki page, Joseph James D'Angelo Jr. is an American serial killer, serial rapist, burglar, and former police officer who committed at least 13 murders, more than 50 rapes, and over 120 burglaries in California between 1973 and 1986.
That's insane.
Totally
That's insane.
crazy. And you know what's crazy? You know what the worst part is? It says he was born in 1945, which only makes him 74 years old.
Sheesh.
This guy looks old as shit. This guy looks like he's been through some things.
Well, yeah, he done been through some things. He got all that evil in him. He got
bad.
But I mean, I don't know. But you know how,
no.
You know how people who live stressed out or like on drugs just look like they just age really fast? I wonder if all this stuff was weighing on his mind or if he just has bad genes, because he looks a lot older than 74.
He might be some kind of like sociopath to a degree, but I think he's like tried to like apologize to like family members or something like that, which is like nuts, or try to like appeal to them or something to get like a reduced sentence or something like that, which didn't work obviously. But I mean, I don't know if this is true or not, but it's like that evil, dude. It's almost like video games, man. Like, you ever played a video game where you can be a good person or a bad person, and like when you make bad decisions, you get like scars and like evil and shit like that. You look darker and shit like that. I feel like that shit really like in your soul, like that affects your body.
Okay,
I feel like that stuff happens, man. Like you're doing all these negative and like evil things, and it's like your mind. It takes a toll on your mind. Unless he's a sociopath. If he's a sociopath, he's not apologetic and really doesn't care. But if he's trying to appeal to people, I don't think he's a sociopath. He just wouldn't care. He wouldn't bother with it.
All right.
So I don't. If he's
the families of the victims, who were in court and got to say everything they wanted to say after all that was said and done, this is a statement he made. He said, "I've listened to all your statements, each one of them, and I'm truly sorry to everyone I hurt. Thank you, Your Honor." That's all he said. I mean, what else is he gonna say? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at that point, why would you even say I'm sorry? Like, just life in prison. Like, life in prison. He's 74. Is anybody still down with like guillotine or like, you know what I'm saying?
Firing squad. Just call J. Cole real quick.
It's funny you say that though. Like, when I was in high school, I actually had to do a report, and I don't know how this actually. I don't remember the research I did to specifically find this out, but it actually costs more money to kill somebody than it does to just leave them there in life or prison.
Bullshit. I do it for free.
I guess like to actually get like the authorization and like kind of go through with everything, it costs a lot of tax dollars. I don't know how that works by any means at all.
Why don't they just do him how they do citizens on the street?
Oh my God.
I mean, hey, look, like, I know there's kind of like some humor in that, but real chop. Take his ass out. What's the authorizations? Who authorized him to violate hundreds of people?
I hope nobody authorized that. Jesus, that'd make it a lot more deeper and darker of a.
I feel like it is. I feel like somebody was letting this happen. Somebody else was in on it, whether it was his chief, or, his captain. I don't know what his rank was when he was a police officer or anything like that. But
Damn.
for that much stuff to be going on, for that many complaints to be happening, somebody must have been in on it, burying this stuff.
Maybe. Shoot.
And
That's
not only that,
crazy.
it's not like he worked with the same. I don't know what you for police. Like, not like he worked with the same force. Like, he was literally jumping around to different areas.
Oh my
And
god.
working in different areas, because you can't just look. You can't murder 13 people and rape 50 people and burglarize 113 homes in the same city. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's Golden State. He literally moved around multiple times. I think it was 4 times.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah,
super
so it was
wild.
definitely premeditated. There's nothing crazy about it because he strategically made his moves. You know what I'm saying? He was a police officer. Obviously, I don't want to say you can't be stupid and be a police officer. No offense to anybody personally, but obviously he passed the training. He's able to
Yeah.
memorize his booklets, and he has a mind. He just used it for evil. Why do we give a fuck about how much it costs to kill this person? It's no point. You gonna die in prison. Fuck the money. 2 bullets, pow pow, bang, replace them at Walmart, $14.95 a box or something. Can't remember what it is.
Especially being a cop going to prison too. Like we all know about that. Well, we see that, we hear stories about the one, if a cop ends up in prison, all the people that he arrested and this and that. They're going to probably get some type of revenge on him and all that. So I can definitely see somebody being like, you know what, I knew that family. You're a cop. You arrested me. You put me in jail for how long, for a speeding ticket? Nah, fam. You about to catch it. You about to catch this 2-piece.
Real chop. Speaking of bullets, Meg
Damn.
the Stallion caught one in the back of the foot. And she finally went live on IG. Brandon, you want to tap in on that one?
Man, that was probably, I feel like that was the most unexpected thing when it finally dropped. It kind of like, it's one of those like broke the internet moments. Like everybody kind of like the day the earth stood still and whatnot, like when she, like for a long time there had been speculation, like we've been speculating too, like what was the bigger play, or if there was a bigger play. We hadn't heard Kylie's name, we hadn't heard anybody else's name. All Meg said was that she was intentionally shot on purpose or whatever. Like
Right.
She was shot with the intent to hurt her or whatever,
Right.
Not just like kind of shot around or something, and accidentally hit or like messing around.
So from the story that I heard, or when you started sending us the videos of her IG live, she didn't go into too much detail because obviously it's a long story. But from the main point of it, from pretty much what she said was there was 4 people in the vehicle. There was a group argument going on. And she said she was done arguing. She stepped out the vehicle, which I'm not mad at because I'm the same type of person. If there's too much commotion going on, people trying to argue, bro, let me just take
I'm
a
out.
step. Let me take a step. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with that. Nobody said, she didn't say, oh, I hit somebody and I was running away. Nuts. She stepped out. As she was stepping out, this motherfucker Tory from the back seat took shots at her feet, bro. Now, not only was she not putting hands on him, which I know we all kind of brought up these different scenarios, like, why would a man feel the need to bring out a weapon on a woman, let alone even like put hands on her? You know what I'm saying? But a weapon with 2 other people in the car, and then she still didn't say nothing for a few days, and then people, I guess, from Tory's camp, and this is from Meg's mouth on IG, people from Tory's camp were pushing storylines, trying to paint Meg out to be a certain way and this and that. And regardless of what people say, because when you're a celebrity, you can't control the masses. The population is going to think what they want, be moved how they want. They feed into drama. This as a celebrity, you have to be thick-skinned to exist, period. But when it's another person of your status, celebrity status, and somebody who you've been involved with, to say the least, you're in the same vehicle. I don't know their history, if it's physical or anything.
They're at least acquaintances or friends at a minimum.
Right, exactly. And regardless of what you were doing that day, ultimately what came out was you were walking away and somebody shot you. Now, Tory, I don't give a fuck what she said. I don't care if she dissed you. I don't care if she said fuck your mama. Real chop. Words is words, bro. You do not touch females unless she's coming at you trying to hurt you. Straight up. But a gun, bro, you already, like, I hate to say it, Tory already like 5'2". You know what I'm saying? And I hate to bring up the height in this thing, but let's keep it real. You got to know how you look in these times. You a man of small stature. Meg the Stallion is a damn near man-sized herself.
A stallion.
You know what I'm saying? Stallion, a male horse. You know what I'm saying? Like, this a big broad. You know what I mean? The closest thing to Queen Latifah and Set It Off type chick, you know, but with yiddies. So it's like, what could she have possibly done to make you want to bust out the old gun? Like, it makes
Needle
so now.
Needle dick. That's what she was talking
about. And the thing is, I wasn't necessarily upset at Tory about all this, and it's because I don't have high hopes for Tory. That was I'm hearing somebody's feedback. Okay. I didn't have high hopes for Tory because I never really liked him. I don't like his music like that. He does a lot of singing, and I'm not in favor of the high pitch. I'm trying to get you to, I don't know. And he's Canadian. So people have been listening to our show. They know I've been talking about Canada for the last 20 some odd episodes. You know what I'm saying? And I sent you guys that link to who was going in? DL Hughley.
Yeah.
He was like, something wrong with Canada, boy. Something wrong. Yeah, great minds. You know what I'm saying? We in there. Something going on. But did he have any reason at all to do that? And now, like, what's up with his career? I see all the memes and all the comparisons to the whole, isn't it crazy that people fuck up? Now we compare how we penalize celebrities based off of what they did. Isn't that wrong? Like, people are throwing around, oh, Chris Brown, but he's okay now, even though he beat the shit out of Rihanna in that car. Now, granted, we've heard stories that Rihanna was putting paws on him too. So is that why we let go of the Chris Brown thing? But, like, is Tory completely, quote unquote, canceled? What do you guys think?
So the thing about Tory being canceled, I'm honestly at this point I don't know. It's a little bit complicated because, like you said, people are bringing up Chris Brown. People are actually coming not necessarily to his defense, but they're going against Meg and calling her a snitch. You know, and it sucks because she even tried to explain the reasoning as to why she didn't say anything at first initially, you know, because basically people started calling her out and saying that it was fake or it wasn't real. So she brought up pictures and then she had to go on IG Live and, you know, back up her claims and say by name, okay, it was Tory Lanez who shot me, since people like, you know, pretty much were doubting her. The thing also is it's so terrible that like, she literally said that she decided to protect all of us because we're a bunch of black people in a wealthy neighborhood in a nice ass car. And she said Kylie was not there or anything like that. They were close to where she was actually staying at. So this is already after the fact they were hanging out or whatever, right? So then Tory Lanez decided to shoot her. She doesn't say anything. She goes to the hospital. Cops are still grilling her about whatever happened. She's still not saying anything, keep in mind. And then, you know, they finally released her. I think Tory ended up going to jail and then he got bonded out or whatever, like the next day or something like that. Headed out to like Florida or something and has been pretty much laying low ever since. And now we're getting, then she starts saying reports of like, you know, oh, allegedly they're saying it's a glass wound and Tory didn't actually shoot her or something like that or whatever, you know? So she's like, no, like y'all not going to play with me and just say like, I'm lying or I wasn't shot at or nothing, like trying to call me out or whatever. And it's like, keep in mind, Meg Thee Stallion isn't like gangster, like, you know, a certified blood or anything like that. But I mean, like it appears she comes from a certain cloth. And a lot of times, like when it's like that, like you're not about to work with the police. You know what I mean? Wherever you come from, like I'm sure it's not the best neighborhood in the world, but wherever she comes from, and especially for black folks in general, it's usually we're really not cooperating with the police unless it's like not serious. The crime isn't that serious, or whatever. I'm sure Meg has people that could rectify the situation. She's probably one of the biggest female stars in the hip hop game right now. She can rectify the situation. A lot of men in the industry are going to come to her defense. There's men that are not in the industry, athletes and stuff. J.R. Smith coming to her defense. You know what I mean? So like a lot of people are canceling Tory Lanez, more so like men or prominent figures, but a lot of people who are looking for clout and who are like fans of Tekashi 6ix9ine, who by the way also took it upon himself the next day after the IG Live to go on and post a video of him listening to her music saying Meg Thee Stallion's my new favorite rapper or whatever. And it's little games and shit like this that like it pisses you off because it's like what are all these digs for? Like she went through something traumatic. She should be celebrating a freaking #1 with WAP. And hell, I think 2 weeks in a row they're saying that WAP is expected to block Drake's Laugh Now Cry Later from going #1 for another week or whatever. So it's just like, dude, like she has to deal with all this crap while she should be celebrating a good moment for her. And it's just like, man, like, and Tory Lanez gets nothing. Like a couple people called him out fine, but it's like, what's really going to happen to him? Like, are we going to see his numbers finally decline in another month or something? Like, oh, like I think last month or a couple weeks ago, DJ Academics posted Tory's numbers and we're like, dang, like y'all thought because of the incident or whatever, his numbers would have went down, but they're the highest they've ever been or whatever, right? Kind of the same thing for Tekashi 6ix9ine. His numbers, quote unquote, supposedly are looking the highest they've ever been because, people want to hear what he has to say on these songs or whatever. They want to listen to him. They want to see the drama. What's he going to say in the song or whatever, right? So after this that's just been released by Meg Thee Stallion, we will see if he will honestly be canceled or not. Only time will tell. Only time ever tells in these situations. It's going to be hard as fuck for him to work with people, though. There's going to be a lot of people that will not work with him. I mean, even on Joe Budden podcast, they just talked about it. Joe talked about not having all the facts, but he's like, that is sucker shit regardless. If he did indeed pull out a gun and shoot at Meg Thee Stallion, he's a sucker. Even if she was beating his ass, he's a sucker. And that's somebody, he just had him on the phone a couple months ago. Like they were buddies or whatever, All right, Joe, I appreciate you, shit like that. Like, and they're not fucking with him no more. Maul's not fucking with him no more. And it's just like, certain men are not going to fuck with him regardless. And that's what it's going to take. These little kids and stuff like that, they'll probably still fuck with him. They're not going to care. A lot of them might be like, Meg Thee Stallion's a snitch. You see the memes going around. There's like that meme of the 3 white boys that are in their living room in some big ass house or whatever. And they're like, oh, did Meg violate the street code? And it's like, yeah, you can make jokes or whatever, but it's like you're joking, but it's like this shit's happening. There's kids talking like this that are thinking that Meg Thee Stallion violated street code or did something wrong more so than Tory Lanez shooting her is wrong. Like it's people think like that for real.
I'd like to speak on two of those things. I don't know if Daniel want to go first. I don't want to go too long though, just because this topic can go on forever. I did notice the stupid comments and posts throughout all my platforms of social media in regards to this word, a snitch. Now, the whole street code thing and the snitch thing isn't something that I live by, and it's not something I'm ever going to appreciate or care for. I don't like the comparisons, especially with the Tekashi 6ix9ine thing. People call him a snitch because not only did you tell on a situation, which I said it clearly at the time when it was going on. How is it snitching? How is protecting yourself in a moment when nobody else is going to protect you snitching, trying to protect who? The people who've been doing you dirty? I didn't understand it. And when it comes to the whole Meg thing, let's compare. Since they want to compare, let's compare it. Tekashi 6ix9ine did some illegal things. Not only did he order some violence on someone else, even though the people that he was rolling with were doing him dirty behind the scenes, whatever, he had some ill intentions himself. Meg did nothing but walk out of a fucking car and get shot at. Now, if she speaks on that, how is that compared to somebody who did their own dirt, put himself in that situation, and then spoke out because he was mad how they did him? That's not the same. And granted, Meg didn't speak out until a few days after the situation, or a few weeks after the situation, and she came out strong with it was 4 black people in the car, this and that. Honestly, I took that one. I kind of let that comment go. I don't care about the social injustice side of it because the fact that it took you a few weeks to say that, she's not dumb. I'm not saying she's brilliant, but she's not dumb. I could have thought of a bunch of different things that, or created a bunch of things that were going through my head back then, even though back then it was all adrenaline. I guarantee you she wasn't thinking about the fact that, oh, we're all 4 black people, let me not say nothing in that moment while she's getting shot and the police are pulling her over. That's not what's going through her head. She was in shock and she didn't speak up. Tory didn't know how to act. He was probably drunk out his mind. Who knows, man? Like, it was so stupid. But the fact that society is taking it upon themselves to compare situations and call her a snitch, excuse me? We're literally already making excuses for these people who don't deserve them. And like I said, I wasn't a fan of either of their music like that. Meg, I understand she's a little different, and her lifestyle is already a little contradictory. She's a good girl, she's smart, but at the same time, she's what she refers to as a bad bitch and a savage. So who is she really? That's why we have to understand that the celebrity world, when it comes to entertainment, especially music right now, and especially the hip hop section of music, these people sell the idea of what hip hop living is. I don't look up to criminals and street code. I listen to rap music and I listen to hip hop because of the artistic side of it, the imagery, the wordplay, the lyricism. At some point, that's why speaking and making yourself sound like something that you're truly not all the time gives people these perceptions of you. And that's why she found herself being attacked online. That's not her fault. You should be allowed to do and be who you are as long as you're not harming anybody. But the fact that the entire, like, pretty much the World Wide Web was like questioning what did Meg do to deserve that, bro, what? Like, it didn't make no sense to me. And the fact that people were bringing up the snitch stuff left and right, hello, do they not realize where we're living at right now in 2020? The entire, pretty much all of Hollywood's being exposed right now. Is anybody speaking out on any of those situations being called a snitch right now? Is anybody talking about all those kids that's being caged up and how we're talking about it? Are we snitching on the police? Like, is it snitching only when it's towards somebody who you want to like? Or is it snitching in general? Because to me, it sounds like a whole bunch of contradictory bullshit, and I'm not with it. Society's fucking up right now, and I'm pissed off. I don't like Meg's music, but I respect her so much more after this shit went down because of how she responded. She said it with a straight face, strong voiced, a little deep, but you know, it's a big girl, strong voiced. You know what I'm saying? And I believe everything that she said. And fuck Tory. You know what I'm saying? He's already canceled to me. That's how I see it. But I hope this situation works out in her favor. I hope WAP isn't like the best song of her. I don't want that to define her. But all those things that she said, all those perspectives, all those strong points that she made on her IG live, that's the energy, and that's the intelligence, and that's all that type of stuff I wish to hear in her music moving forward. And I hope she makes a change. Yes, she's thick. Yes, we know sex sells. And over the last 2 weeks, they've been saying, oh, why are you guys tripping on WAP? Because all these guys make music about hoes and blah, blah. And we acknowledge that. Yes, that is true. But ask a guy, the guys who make music just about pussy and this and that and selling this and that, do we respect those guys as much as a J. Cole or Kendrick when they be talking about some real life shit? Hell to the no. Hell, we never have. We acknowledge that there's good and bad on both sides. But the women who are the most famous in what they're doing are not going with the J. Cole and Kendrick and the Talib Kweli and the Black Thought and the, you know what I'm saying? That's why we're upset as people. And unfortunately, right now at their peak with the whole WAP thing and how these women are pretty much shaking ass, OnlyFans is like top business next to Amazon pretty much. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're basing these women's decision and movements off. And I don't think it's fair. Yes, it's valid if you're just like shallow minded. You know what I'm saying? Oh, these women shake ass. I wonder what she did to get shot. Like, that's so shallow, bro. We all still have lives. But as for the music aspect of it, I think that played a big part in our society and how they're viewing this. Ultimately, you have to put them in you put yourself in their shoes. If Meg was your sister, your auntie, your girlfriend, your mom, whoever, that happens to them, how you gonna feel? And if she don't say nothing, you're gonna be like, what's street code? What? Why are you protecting codes to a street that wouldn't help you out when you was dead broke and a bum anyway? What is street code when the streets don't care about you? Why do you have to uphold this whole no snitching thing? No snitch for who? What did the streets ever do for us? Can you put can you put that on your resume? Oh, from the streets. Oh, I like that. Okay. Nah, bro. I'm sorry. Nah, it's whack all the way around, and I hope Meg just kind of comes out on top from the whole situation.
Yeah, the entire thing is wild to me about calling her a snitch. I like to see every one of those people that call her a snitch get shot in the foot and act holier than thou. Anyway.
Right.
See what I did there?
Did you just make a joke?
I mean, Tory better watch out because I think jail time is afoot.
Wow. Let's move on to the next case we got in music. This has kind of been a long time coming, and glory to God for this whole situation being finally resolved, and hopefully the family can kind of get some closure about the whole thing. 2 men have been charged in the murder of Jam Master Jay. One's going to be Carl Jordan Jr. and another being Ronald Washington. It's been 18 years, man, since Jam Master Jay was shot. He was actually shot and killed in a studio while he was playing video games. A lot of people suspected that it was people that were close to him, and it looks like that might have been the case. It's just so crazy how this wasn't the first time somebody has been shot in a studio, and it's not the last time either, or at least shot at. It's so crazy that you would think that people in like a famous person, at least in the studio, doing whatever they're doing, there'd be security at the studio. Maybe they have their own entourage. I think he was with somebody and that person was also injured but wasn't killed. But you would just think that there would be a lot of precautions to help somebody or to take care of stars, or famous people at your studio, especially with like the hip hop game and how it's been over the years. Like you've seen lots of incidents. A lot of people have been hurt or injured due to gun violence in the industry. But at least at the end of the day, finally we know who, allegedly did it, and hopefully these men are brought to justice completely. I believe they're already both in jail, but they're also going to be, of course, tried for the killing of Jam Master Jay. Rest in peace. One last thing for this kind of really sad stuff that we're talking about here. Another soldier went missing in Fort Hood. His name is Elder Fernandez. I don't know what the hell is going on in Fort Hood. A lot of people have been going missing. A lot of soldiers have been being found. Their remains have been being found. It's a really unfortunate circumstance, and it just kind of really shows you a lack of leadership, a lack of accountability, a lot of shady dealings going on. And I really hope that the FBI or somebody higher up can really get a handle on this and take care of it, because it's just not right. Like that many soldiers in such a short period of time, let alone a short period of time, and also like all the ones before them, years ago, last year, 2 years ago, it's just so much that's been going on, and it's just sad and disheartening that this is happening to our service members, and I do understand that outside of work and everything, that service members do have their own lives and can do whatever they want, to a degree, in the area. But if they're getting buried near the installation consistently and constantly, you would think that more than likely it's something to do with the installation itself or people on the installation itself rather than outside forces, in the civilian world. And that's kind of like the worst thing about it, is that, if there is a really dark underworld thing kind of going on in Fort Hood, hopefully it stops and, there won't be any more victims, let alone the ones that have already been victimized and the ones that are, long or dead and gone. Hopefully we don't find out any more, and, hopefully that there won't be any more in the future as well. And then that's pretty much it. There's a bunch of new releases. I know DC fandom's a huge thing going on right now. I'm gonna start with music and games though, real quick, and then I'll go into like the movie and TV stuff. New music, we got Lecrae with Restoration. That's going to be an album. Nas, King's Disease, another album. Black Bear, Everything Means Nothing, another album. I actually listened to all three of those. They're fairly good in my opinion. I saved a couple songs from each of them. You guys should definitely check them out. We got Pharrell with Entrepreneur. That's a single featuring Jay-Z. Also, it's not a coincidence that Jay-Z dropped the song during a Nas release. Just keep that in mind.
But that's Pharrell's track, though. Okay.
We got Russ with a single called Ah Ah. It's actually kind of dope. I would like to listen to this like on a big speaker. It would probably thump super hard, Chief Keef with Bang Bang. And there's a bunch more songs that I didn't get a chance to listen to, but go ahead and check these out. They're all brand new, available on all your DSPs right now. In gaming news, for Dragon Ball FighterZ, which has been out for like 3 years now, I think, or something like that, Master Roshi is finally being added to Dragon Ball FighterZ roster. And the first trailer for Gotham Knights was released. There's no Batman. It does not take place in the Arkham Knights or Arkham Asylum trilogy at all. It is a standalone game. Batman is supposedly dead, and it focuses specifically on Red Hood, Batgirl, Nightwing, and Robin fighting, the forces of evil in Gotham City. There was also a brief, I don't know if it was a trailer or not, but there was like a short little clip for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It's supposed to be a game that is actually a direct sequel to the Arkham series about the Suicide Squad, and that game doesn't come out till 2022, so don't even worry about it. That's it for gaming news. And music news and movie news. It's a lot of DC fandom stuff, so strap in, folks. First and foremost, we got a new trailer for Wonder Woman. You get full images of Cheetah in the movie. There's some action set pieces that are in the trailer. It looks pretty good. I'm sure we're gonna like it. The last one was pretty good. Obviously, Gal Gadot is a pretty dope actor. Chris, it's one of the Chris's. I forget his last name, but he's also reprising his role, and he's a talented actor as well. He's part of the Star Trek series. And the movie looks good. It was supposed to be out already, but because of COVID, obviously, it was pushed back. We finally get the full cast of Suicide Squad, and all the characters that are going to be in Suicide Squad has also been revealed. They're calling it like a character teaser trailer or whatever. You can go on YouTube and look at all the characters and see who's going to be in the movie. It's a long list. It's like 10 or 12 characters, something like that. It's a lot of people. What else we got? Oh, we got the first trailer for the Justice League's Snyder Cut revealed. You guys watched Justice League, right?
Yes.
So obviously, from what we've seen, it was pretty much an entirely different movie. We actually have a clip with Darkseid in it, and it's apparently going to be a 4-hour-long movie. I think it's going to be like split up into like 4 parts or something like that. We actually have the black suit Superman. We actually have more scenes of Cyborg, like a backstory for Cyborg, and more scenes with the Flash, with Ezra Miller's The Flash. So it looks like it's going to be really good. I know they kind of fought long and hard to get the Zack Snyder cut released. And I know recently the actor, I forget his name, unfortunately, that plays Cyborg, he had some words to say about, I fucking forget the guy's name, but the guy that ended up taking over for Zack Snyder and the reason why we have the Zack Snyder footage or whatever, he ended up taking over, and I guess he didn't really like him. He felt like he was treated very horribly as an actor. And, hopefully this will do it justice. And maybe, who knows what this will do for like franchises in the future or other films that have been done similarly, like from reshoots or for whatever the reason may be, like maybe this will reinvigorate their passion for the project and all the characters will come back because speaking of which, Ben Affleck is reprising his role for the Flashpoint film, and he is confirmed to be in the film. He's not going to be obviously a major character because the Flashpoint is mostly about Flash going back in time, affecting things in the past, I think by saving his mother, going back to the present, and then things are topsy-turvy because basically from that happening, everything changes. Even when he goes back to fix everything and leave it the way it was, everything is still changed because once you try to fix a cup, you cannot fix it. It will never be the same. It'll still have that crack no matter what you do.
So it's back to the future in tights?
Essentially, sure. That's a good analogy for sure. But he'll be in it for a couple scenes at least, and we also have the oh my gosh, I am so Michael Keaton. Sorry, he is the other Batman that's going to be in the film. I don't know if it's going to be like it's obviously going to be different from the regular Flashpoint story. I don't know if it's going to be interdimensional or if it's just going to be alternate reality. But Jeffrey Dean Morgan is not going to be playing Batman, unfortunately, and we're going to get Michael Keaton. I don't know if he's supposed to be playing Batman's father, Thomas Wayne, or if he's going to be reprising his own role of Batman. Because either way, it wouldn't really. If he's Thomas Wayne, it doesn't make sense because that was not Thomas Wayne in the old Michael Keaton film that we saw back years ago. He's supposed to be reprising his role, so I think it's going to be more interdimensional or something because they're also saying that it's confirmed that. The Flash was not called that in like the whole, I guess, Justice League film, but he instead got his name specifically from the crossover event that happened in the Flash TV show that was a part of the Arrowverse. Ezra Miller made an appearance, and that's where he got the idea for his name from. So that's how the Flash in the Justice League film or the Justice League, the DCEU, whatever you want to call it, that's how he gets his name, the Flash. Okay, there's a lot. See, it's a lot of news coming out of fandom. It was pretty lit, apparently, little mini Comic-Con event, The Black Adam motion comic was also released, and it's voiced by The Rock. It just basically shows you like some clips of like what the show or what the suit and what The Rock is expected to look like, the scenery, the time frame that it's in, ancient Egypt. His suit's definitely going to look very different from Captain Marvel's. It's going to have a more armor based look instead of like that like wetsuit look that Shazam had originally. A lot of people are excited. They want to see The Rock. They've been waiting for years. We've got the information that The Rock was going to be Black Adam for like what, like 2017, 2016 or something like that. It's been a long time coming, and it's about time that we finally get this film. I know he's been super enthusiastic about it. He can't wait for it. He's always posting about it on Instagram like every other like month or whatever, and so he's excited for it. And the rest of us can't wait to see it either. And I guess that is all the news from DC fandom. Besides the last huge news, guys. The first official teaser trailer for The Batman was released, featuring our very own Robert Pattinson, otherwise known as Robert Battinson, and fans are loving it. Fans are loving it. It's looking good. The Batman scenes for sure were dope. A lot of people are already talking about the scene where the guy's like, "Who are you?" and he runs up to him. He beats the hell out of the guy, and he's like, "I'm vengeance" or whatever, For me though, the Bruce Wayne not doing it for me. I'm not buying it. I just can't. It's not fucking with it at all. What did you guys see the trailer? What do you guys think about it?
I definitely saw the trailer. That was actually the first thing I saw when I woke up this morning. I turned over, I looked up my phone to see if I had any messages, and then I opened up YouTube, and I actually was watching it on accident. I thought it was a fan made thing, and then I was like, "Oh, this is legit! Like this is a real thing." When I actually saw him in there, and I was like, "This is." I was really excited to see it. I know I was talking smack about Robert Pattinson when we first heard the news back in the day, but from that clip, if the rest of the movie is like that clip, I'm actually in there. I'll actually watch that.
I have not. I have not. I simply have not. It's been a rough 2 days for me. I've been kind of busy, so I'm catching up. Glad to be on the show, guys. I've learned it. People don't know this, but I learned so much while being on the show. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not here like projecting all this information. More apart from when I'm speaking, I'm completely learning. So like this is good news for me. Got some movies to watch.
That's dope. Like I said before, I'm not really feeling the Bruce Wayne look that he has. Also in the film is there's a penguin. I think it's like a little cameo for. I'm having a terrible time with actors right now for whatever reason. But anyway, the Riddler and Penguin make an appearance in the film. It's like really noir type trailer, so it's like really dark and like you kind of can't really see things that well. But they took the stills and they showed them, and it looks good. They look good. I actually thought the Riddler was Talon at first. I was kind of confused until the end with all the question marks, and I was like, oh, that's the Riddler. So they got the Riddler for sure, and they got Penguin, which I don't even know why I was confused because I remember talking about the fact that there was going to be the Penguin and the Riddler. So that's looking good. And then, of course, we got Zoe Isabel Kravitz coming out as Selena. What's her name? Selena Kyle or Selena Powell? Selena Powell's that girl that gets okay. Never mind. Not Selena Powell. Selena Kyle as Catwoman. So there's already shots of that. And then actually, I think I just saw news today that somebody else was casted. So I think they said they're like 25% done. They're not even done with the whole film yet. So I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of other scenes, and we can't wait to see it. It's actually going to be taking place during year 2 of Batman. I don't know if I've said that before or not, but just so you guys know, it's not going to be like he's brand new. He's been fighting crime, but it's probably going to be like maybe the first run-in with these villains for him or something like that, and we'll see what happens with this in the future. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is supposed to be a trilogy, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. We'll see how that turns out if it ends up being really good. A lot of people have faith in him. I saw something recently that said he's like a big Batman fan. I don't know how true or not true that is, because a lot of actors that I've ever seen portray comic book characters, they usually like go to pick up a bunch of stuff to learn the character, and we're not really fans or didn't know the character beforehand, or maybe they knew about him, but they never like really like studied them or like looked at them or whatever, but we'll see, we'll see what happens. And I don't think anybody have anything else to add?
Do we have a poll this week? We didn't come up with a poll this week. Like a would you rather type of thing, or what do you think?
I got you. Whose side are you taking? Meg Thee Stallion or Tory Lanez?
Oh, come on, bro. That's a hands down. What else we got, bro? I'm going Meg.
Man, there's a plot hole in that entire scenario.
Wow. You went for it again?
Sheesh.
Oh my God. Okay.
What do you think is worse? Like, is it would you rather be really short or really tall? Like if you had to choose either or.
When you say really short, how short are you talking? Like midget or like not legally?
Yeah, I mean, there's downsides to everything. Like when you're like super tall. I mean, like you have to bend down through every door. You need an extra long bed. You need like everything, like super tall or super short. What would you rather be?
But are we saying midget or just short?
Bruh, whatever you think is considered. Yeah, okay. A legal midget is 4'8" and shorter.
Because if you're saying like if I have like dwarfism, I don't want that for myself. But if
Like a Vern Troyer, like mini,
yeah, I don't want
that's
that.
puny.
Sure.
That's tiny. That's pretty. I'm pretty sure I'm probably something like that. Maybe not so small, but like think about the pros and cons of being really tiny, bro.
I'm going tall.
Like you can fit almost anywhere, but at the same time, you're always short. So like you're the first person to smell everybody farts.
You look really. No offense to anybody out there that might have.
Yeah, that's not short. But I'm just saying, like, if you like for the general population, and I'm not trying to side with anybody, with it, it's almost crazy because they're both tragic. I don't know. I'm gonna go like really tall. I'm gonna go really tall.
I'm gonna go really tall with this one too, for sure. I'm definitely going really tall. Daniel, I mean, you're already there almost, so.
Oh man, come on now.
Think about all the fire shoes. Think about all the dope children's shoes you could get as an adult.
I'd rather be really, really tall just so I can finally feel like to dunk.
Oh, that's actually not bad. Actually, I like that.
That's hilarious.
But then your head got to stick out the sunroof when you're driving. A little Dino action.
Well, that's when I get the Jeep with the no doors and the no roof.
So that's what we're going with this week. We're going with tall or short.
I don't know. I don't know. There was so much bad stuff that happened this week, and we covered so much depressing stuff. Like, and this just didn't get better.
I know, right?
It just didn't get better. I don't know. We'll try harder next week. I might put that poll up on my social media later just to see how people feel. Or if somebody cusses me out because their mom's a midget. I don't know.
Or we could go with who do we think is going to be a better Batman at the end of the Batman movie?
Okay.
Or Ben Affleck. That's a good one.
Yes, let's go that.
But I guess that's about it then. All right, Piglets, this has been another installment of Culture by the Uncultured. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Culture by the Uncultured. Remember, Piglets, Culture by the Uncultured is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. We hope everyone out there is staying safe. And if you can't be safe, be deadly. Catch you guys next time. See you later, Piglets.
I think I switched my answer. You can get government assistance for being really short, not for really tall. I go short.